It's been 39 hours since my husband suddenly passed away. I have 8 kids. My 2 eldest is 20 and 16. And we suddenly lost our dad. Yeah. Now, I did make a video already explaining what happened. You can go back and watch that video. Thank you for clicking on this video because I think that doing this will help me. It's an emotional outlet. So YouTube has become my emotional outlet and what I'm going through, which is the hardest thing I have ever had to go through in my life. But he prepared us. He was always looking after us. So, sorry about my voice. And I left the closet open just to, stop bumping that. I left the closet open just to get rid of some of the echo. But here's the thing, what we did today, it was our first day since he passed. I made a plan that I talked about in the previous video of things that had to be done right away. My husband was on ODSP. Stop bumping, okay? Sorry, the kids keep bumping the camera. My husband was on ODSP, and these two, they're too young to understand what's going on. They have no idea what I'm talking about. So we went to the bank account and I took out as much I could before they started charging me to it. So we do have a bit of savings, but I'm going to be cut off of his ODSP at the end of the month. ODSP is disability. I'm in Canada, so in Ontario, disability, ODSP. It's like Ontario Disability Support Program, I think. So that card was linked to ODSP. It was money that they would give him every month. And I'm going to try and take that out before they cancel it because it was money for him that he had let accumulate over the months. And so we had done groceries. Hang on, I got my list here. We did groceries. I got as much of our prescriptions that I could in advance while it was covered by his ODSP because I have no income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just get what I get from the government for the children, and and we have a bit of savings. So I don't want to use up our bit of savings. We need that for emergencies. I got a call from the coroner, and he said that he had a very large pneumonia on the right side of his lungs. Empress, please be quiet. Now, here's the thing. I only got about 6 hours sleep. We went to bed at 3 in the afternoon, and we were all exhausted. We had to do a bunch of errands today, so I woke up and I was really, really missing my husband. And I was thinking earlier this morning, I had some not so great thoughts about now that I've lost the love of my life.
Yeah.
No. Now that I've lost the love of my life, what do I have to look forward to? I mean, I have our children, and our children are going to, they're going to grow up, and, hang on, baby, and, here, baby, you draw on the floor, but, hang on a second. So, I'm back. The call from the coroner said he had a large pneumonia on the right side of his lung, which is probably because he was lying on the floor for a very long time. As I said in the last video, I couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He had taken his heavy pain relief pills, and I was waiting for him to sleep it off. So they're not sure what caused it still, so they took some samples and they're going to be doing some tests, and he said he'd call me back in a few weeks, it could be months, with the results. This morning I was thinking some bad thoughts about my peak of my life is over. The best part of my life is over. I'm 40 years old, and I was thinking that I just have to stay alive for another 40 years because my grandmother lived to be 82, and that just seems so long. It seems so long until we'll be back all together again in heaven. Yeah, I'm crying. Yes, I'm crying. I miss him so much. So I woke up missing him a lot, and I don't know what our life is going to be like now. There's an unknown, but I have this weight on my chest that's always there. I'm not getting much sleep. I'm not eating much. I have no family or friends that I've been busy with our family. We kept to ourselves. We've been busy raising our family, so we don't have friends, and we moved around, so we don't have any family members. I don't have many family members in Canada. I just had like my mom and my dad, but my dad passed away, and my aunt, and I don't talk to them because they didn't want me to marry my husband 20 years ago. So they were trying to interfere with my marrying him. So even after we were married, they didn't accept it. They were trying to break it up. So I just stopped talking to all of my family. And I don't have his family because I'm not really close to them. He didn't really talk much to them throughout the years. So that's why I thought YouTube would be a good outlet. And we have each other. We have each other. So I am very proud of my older boys. They've been doing so well. My 18-year-old boy, he's so responsible. And my 20-year-old, he's there for me to talk to. One of my biggest concerns is how they are going to do, how are they going to manage with this this new drastic change. But anyhow, that's my daughter there, my 3-year-old. She doesn't know what's going on. It's really hard. We were a happy family, and here's the thing, this is why I had to get up out of bed, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep, because they don't know what exactly caused it. And then they sent him for an autopsy, and I said in the last video that the police were at our house and they were looking through things, you know, trying to find what I called the smoking gun. And there's a detective involved, and she asked me some questions, and the thing is that not now, Empress, or Passion.
Yeah.
What really scared me is, what if she thinks that it's neglect? We all saw him there on the kitchen floor sleeping. You couldn't wake him up. He was knocked out. He was snoring, and his face was turned to the side, so the fluid that was coming out could drain. And my son is 20 years old. My second oldest is 18 years old. They're adults too. So my concern was she going to charge me with neglect or manslaughter or something like that? We didn't understand what was going on with him on the floor. We had seen him, you know, knocked out before with his pills. He was snoring loudly like he does when he takes his heavy pills.
Yeah.
Until he wasn't. He was very quiet, and that's when I called the ambulance.
Yeah.
And so is she gonna charge all three of us, since we're all legally adult? Is she gonna charge all three of us with manslaughter or neglect? I have a few things in my favor, though. One is I was not legally his caretaker. You know, he managed his own pills. He managed his own doctor's appointments. I don't even have a driver's license. My 18-year-old has a driver's license, a full driver's license, so fortunately he can take us to get the groceries and such. The other thing that I have in my favor is the testimonies. If she talks to my son and our family, we had a good family. And now it's broken up. And I tried to tell myself, I'm sorry about all the ands, but I'm so nervous. I called. Well, I found the phone number in Ontario, it's pro bono, where you can get free legal advice. Sorry, that's free legal advice for people that don't have a lot of money, because I think I need it. The detective, it's up to her what she thinks. If she thinks that, you know, we neglected him, which we did not, but I know the house is dirty. I know the house is messy. My husband has not been able to do much for a long time. And like I said, we don't have friends or family members to come and babysit so we can clean up the house. It's just us. And now it's really just us. So for a long time he was not able to do, to help out because of his back around the house. He is 70 years old. And you're so sweet. She's hugging my arm. My 3-year-old. So I also think that because he was on some heavy pain relief, accidents can happen. I don't know if he maybe forgot, because some of the side effects is forgetfulness. Did he forget that he took his pills and take another batch by accident? Long time ago, like 30 years ago, he did have a history of attempted suicide. That was long before we ever met. Maybe is a detective going to think that maybe this was some kind of attempted suicide? Is she going to think it's an accident, or is she going to think it's neglect? One of those three: accident, neglect, or attempted suicide. Personally, I don't think it was attempted suicide, because he wanted to live a long time so that he could see our baby get older. I still have not told the younger kids, because I spoke about it with my 18-year-old and my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old, he doesn't have much of an opinion, but my 18-year-old said, let them get adjusted to this new lifestyle a bit first. And his idea was not to tell them at all. I don't think that, he doesn't think that they would resent that, and gives them a chance to get a little adjusted before. Now, my 16-year-old, I told him just tonight as much as I could without telling him all of the story. And I didn't lie. Everything I said was true. So what he knows is that he's in the next city at the hospital, which he is. They told me to contact a funeral home and make arrangements to have him picked up. I hate to make that call. We're trying to figure out what to do with him because he didn't want to be buried. He didn't want to be cremated. He wanted his own mausoleum, which you can't do. So practicality, and he wanted his whole body to be intact, which the coroner assured me that the samples they take are very small, thin slices. So he's basically intact, so that's good. At least he got that. But I'm thinking practicality, we might have to just get him cremated. And my son, my 18-year-old, is like, well, can't we just like tell them for religion reasons? Because my husband did kind of have he was Christian, but he didn't follow a church. He had his own, he followed his own Christianity. And so I told my son Julius, who's 20, that I don't think we can just like keep him in a box in the house, a coffin in the house, because he'll rot. And I think it's against the law too to have a you know.
Can I get this one?
Yeah. The other thing I have going for me in terms of evidence, which I didn't tell the police or the detective about because I didn't want them to take it the wrong way, is I do have a short video on some pictures that I took of him while he was lying on the floor. And the reason was because I wanted to show him when he woke up what kind of condition he's in. I wanted to show him what these pills do to him, so he's got to try and stay as far from them as possible. So that can show that, well, we were aware that he was there on the floor and we just didn't know what was going on. We had been desensitized to this kind of knocking out. So here's my plan for day 2. Day 2 is I go back to the bank, I take out the rest of the money in his ODSP RBC account. I have to call the disability worker and tell her about it, and hopefully she can point me in the right direction now. I gotta call pro bono 9 a.m. to get a lawyer's advice. Hopefully she can tell me and settle my nerves. Hopefully she'll put me at ease that it's not likely that I would be charged. And we gotta do a bit more groceries. I'm going to check for prescription coverage now for women in my situation that are now single. See, because the pharmacist told me that there might be some kind of coverage now for single moms. And I have to notify the car insurance that my son's now driving my 18-year-old. Now we were paying about $1,000, a little over $1,000, because we had a pretty new car for a year, car insurance, because now my son is going to be driving, that car insurance is going to be going up. So that's why it was very important to eliminate a lot of our unnecessary bills and streamline everything and get it down, because my husband would pay it once a year to save money. And we'll have to pay that, I don't know how much it might go up to 2,000. I don't know, but and so that's it for now. That's where things are at. If you stayed with me this long, sorry about all the ands. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me too well. I think that this expression is important to help me. And someone's trying to come in. One of the kids. I thank you. I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. I thank you for any support. And I need people to comment, because everybody has gone through some kind of event where they've lost a family member or a friend, or they know someone, and I would appreciate it so much if you told me how things went. As kind of like a support group, I guess, you know, a support group that's doesn't have to necessarily be going through it right now, you know, but has experience. I need that input. So if you could please, you know, comment at the bottom of the video. Everything is appreciated. If you like the video or subscribe, I really need that support. So thanks again for watching. I'll be in the next video. I'll be letting you know what's going on as it goes on. Thanks for watching again. Bye. I forgot to say a few things. I really appreciate you, because, as I mentioned, I think this would be good for me going through this rough time. I appreciate everybody, every one of you who watches and gives me your feedback, your advice. I appreciate all of it. I forgot to mention what I told my 16-year-old now. So I told him tonight, I told him that his dad, that the doctor at the hospital told me he might not be the same man again, which is true, because we don't know how long he didn't have, sorry, that's my kids. I don't know, nobody knows how long he didn't have enough oxygen going to his brain for. I told him that he was in the city next over at the hospital there, which he is. I told him that he's not getting better. And I tried to prepare him by telling him that, you know, we have some savings and we're gonna be there for each other. He can talk to his older brother, Julius, who's 18, Aaron, his oldest brother, 20, and he can talk to me whenever he wants. And I think that's it. But like I said, Julius's viewpoint was to not tell the kids at all. And so I told Adonis, my 16-year-old son, our 16-year-old son as much as I could. I just stopped to the point where I said that he was not coming home at all. You know that, and my 10-year-old just asked, you know, can we go see him in the hospital? I said no. My daughter earlier today, when is he coming home? I just told him, she's 7, that I don't know. Oh yeah, and we got a visit from the Child Protective Services in where I live here. It's called Family and Children's Services, FACS short. And in the US it's called CPS, the baby police or whatever. And so we were gone, fortunately, but they left a box of donuts at the door with a card and his name written on it. And I'm really glad that we were gone when he came, because like I said, the children don't even know yet. Is that bad? We're trying to ease them in as much as we can. So I said last night actually it was early this morning, very early this morning, to Julius, again my 18-year-old son, that I don't know how much longer I can not tell Adonis. You know, he's 16. He's going to figure out some things. He's older. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just tell them all at once, and I'll wait for, sorry, that shape, that's my foot. I'm just tense. It's a lot. I'm nervous. My young one's coming in here. Yeah. Okay, just shut the door, please. What? Are you done?
My balloon.
Okay, I'll fix your balloon after, okay?
My balloon do it up.
Okay.
And the highest area.
Okay, I'll try and get it right after, okay?
And it has a short thing.
Okay. This is Passion. She was our first girl. Can you close the door, Passion? We had 5 boys in a row up until she came along. And then Empress, who is 3, our second girl. And then our baby, who is over a year old. Now, Fax came today, and sorry, I'm shaking my foot again. My husband's idea, if they ever came, because they had come before, was that he was just going to get a lawyer and tell them they couldn't come in. He was going to get like a lawyer for people with not much income. And he didn't want to deal with them anymore because they came before and they never found anything, and they came a few years before that. And but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that when he comes, I'm not going to let him into the house because the kids have been through enough. Because he's going to come in, he's going to look for things, and you know, the kids have been through enough. I'm going to tell him that, and I think I'll talk to him in front of the house, just outside the front door with it closed, because he might be able to point me in the direction of some resources, some extra help. And I don't think he'll come back again because he wrote his name on the card, and he's going to probably expect me to call him back, which I'm not going to. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm thinking that's our plan. As far as the house being messy and dirty and the baby not having a crib because he sleeps with me, the police already came in, they saw it all, they checked it all out, and that's what I'm going to tell him. The police saw everything, they checked everything out. They know it all already. There's nothing there's nothing secret. So again, sorry if it was difficult to understand with my quivering voice. I'm trying to talk clear. And so again, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.